Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 8 of the Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm your host, Liam Gavin, coming to you live from my kitchen. This episode is going to cover playoff basketball over the weekend. We had some good games. We had the Western Conference Finals tipping off between the Nuggets and the Lakers. They played 2 games, and then we had the Boston Celtics take on the Miami Heat Saturday night. So let's get into it. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, Lakers-Nuggets. Lakers dominated that one, 126-114. If you just look at the stat sheet and the scoreboard, the Lakers completely dominated, especially the second and third quarter. In the second quarter, the Lakers scored 34 points. Meanwhile, the Nuggets only scored 21. And in the third quarter, the Lakers scored 33 points and the Nuggets only scored 20. But in the fourth quarter, the Nuggets did outscore the Lakers 35-23. But at that point, the game was already out of control. So let's look at how the players did for the Denver Nuggets. There's only a few names that really stood out to me. Nikola Jokic being one of them. He's their center. He's probably the best player on their team. He had 21 points and 6 rebounds. Jamal Murray, another fantastic point guard, 21 points. And then how about the rookie, Michael Porter Jr., with 14 points and 10 rebounds. He had a great game. But other than those three, no one really else on the Denver Nuggets really stood out to me. More people could have stepped up. Paul Millsap could have stepped up, their power forward. He only had 5 points. I expected to see a little bit more out of him. So now let's look at the Lakers. The Lakers players, they absolutely dominated. You have Anthony Davis, one of the best big men in the league, leading the way with 37 points and 10 rebounds. I can never talk about the Lakers without mentioning this guy, LeBron James. He had 15 points and 12 assists. He absolutely did phenomenal. And then how about the shooting guard? Kadavius Caldwell-Pope, KCP, 18 points. Hey, he had a nice game. I know he struggles here, but when he's on, he's on. Kyle Kuzma off the bench with 11 points. It's another big piece of that Lakers team. They need him to step up if they want to make the finals and definitely win the finals. And Dwight Howard, how about the veteran Dwight Howard? Getting 13 points in 16 minutes. That's what the Lakers bought him there for. They bought him for his size, his rebounding, and his defense. Let's look at the Game 1 stats. This was just controlled by the Lakers the whole way. They shot 53% from the field. Meanwhile, the Denver Nuggets shot 49%. The three-pointers kept falling for the Lakers. They outshot the Denver Nuggets 42% to 34%. And the free throws, the Lakers were 27 for 37, shooting 73%, and the Nuggets were 23 for 28, or 82%. Now, if you watch the game, you could see the Lakers did get a lot of foul calls. Some of them were questionable, but there was a lot of plays where the Nuggets shouldn't have ever fouled. Total rebounds, the Nuggets out-rebounded them 37 to 34. The assists, this one was a good stat. The Lakers had 33 assists compared to the Nuggets' 23 assists. And the turnovers, the Nuggets led the turnover category 16 to 11. So that was it for Game 1 between the Nuggets and the Lakers. The Lakers took a 1-0 lead. Now I'll get into Game 2. Game 2 was won by the Lakers, 105-103. This was an excellent game. It came right down to the wire. The Nuggets actually did really well in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. They just couldn't get it done at the end. I'll look at the player stats for the Nuggets. We're going to start with Nikola Jokic again. You're going to hear me talk about this guy this whole series. He had 30 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists. It doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, this guy could average a triple-double almost every night. Jamal Murray, again, another big name you're going to hear me talk about, with 25 points. And Michael Porter Jr., again, he's got 15 points to his name last night's game. So no one else, again, really stepped up on that Nuggets team when they needed them there. Hopefully they can get more out of guys like Monte Morris and the veteran Paul Millsap, because if those guys don't step up, it's going to be an even longer series for the Nuggets, especially now that they're down 0-2. So let's take a look at the Lakers player stats. And you had Anthony Davis, 31 points, 9 rebounds. He had the game-winning shot, the game-winning three-pointer that went in, and what a three-pointer it was. He did confirm that he yelled Kobe before he shot it, and that's why it went in. There was about a second and a half on the clock. They were down 103-102, and Davis, one of the best the big men in the league who could shoot, he drains it and gets them the win. So he had 31 points and nine boards. There's LeBron James once again. He's a human highlight reel. 26 points, 11 rebounds. KCP with 11 points. Danny Green with 11 points. All around, they played pretty well. Alex Caruso had 9 points coming off the bench. He was giving them a lot of energy. And Rajon Rondo, former Celtics, playoff Rondo, he had himself 9 assists. He looked great. It's good to see him back out there playing great ball. As a Celtic fan, I always loved Rondo. He helped lead them to a championship back in 2008. So I hope the best of success to Rondo. And let's look at the game stats between each team. So the Nuggets actually shot better from the field. They shot 47% compared to the Lakers' 44%. Three-pointers, the Lakers shot better at 36% compared to the Nuggets' 33%. And free throws, the Lakers went to the line 19 times, made 18 of them, shot 94%, while the Nuggets made it 33 times to the line and only made 25, shooting 75%. And that's a big part of this game. You figure if the Nuggets just make a couple more free throws, like if they make 4 or 5 more free throws, this game is probably going to be a lot different for them. Rebounding too, man. Look at this. 44 rebounds for the Lakers compared to the Nuggets 31. That's 13 boards difference right there. How about the turnovers? The Lakers actually had more turnovers. They had 23 compared to the Nuggets 19. So that's it for that series so far. The Lakers are up 2-0. They're looking dominant as ever. And the Nuggets need to find something to get out of their 0-2 hole right now, because you don't want to fall behind 0-2 against a team with LeBron James on it. Next, we have the Eastern Conference Finals. This was Game 3 between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. The Celtics wound up winning 117-106 in a thriller. The Heat still lead 2-1, but Boston needed that win. Jimmy Butler for the Heat, he had 17 points, 8 rebounds. Bam Adebayo, he had 27 points with 16 rebounds. He's been a real problem for the Celtics this whole series. Duncan Robinson, one of their great shooters, 13 points. Goran Dragic, another good shooter with 11 points. And how about Tyler Hero, the rookie? He's been killing the Celtics all game long. He had 22 points. This young rookie's not afraid to shoot and step up. He's really good at it too. Now we look at the Boston Celtics. Jaylen Brown, 26 points, 7 rebounds. A young star for the Celtics. Expect to see more out of him. We have Jason Tatum, another star. In his third year, he has 25 points, 14 rebounds in that game, 8 assists, close to being a triple-double. This kid's just improving every single game. Kemba Walker finally got in his groove. He had 21 points. Marcus Smart, big energy. He had 20 points. And let's talk about Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward has been out since Game 2 between the Celtics and Sixers series. He came back. He didn't do, ridiculous numbers or anything. He only had 6 points, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds. But his energy, he's able to set up plays, and you could tell the Celtics were desperately missing him in this series. So it's good to see him back. Now we'll look at the game stats. The Celtics outshot the Heat 48% to 38% for field goals. Three-pointers knocked down for the Celtics, favored the Celtics, 34% to 27%. And the free throw percentage was 86% compared to 82% for the Heat. Total rebounds also favored the Celtics, 50 to 42. And the turnovers, the Celtics actually had 14 turnovers compared to the Heat's 13. But here's something I want to talk about, the points in the paint. 60 points in the paint compared to 36. The Celtics desperately needed to get in the paint if they want to win this series. They were struggling doing that in the first 2 games. Hopefully they found a rhythm. Hopefully they found their groove and a formula to beat the Heat. I know it's going to be tough. They're still down 1 game. Game 4 is coming to you live on Wednesday. This is going to be a great game. Celtics, another must win. They can't afford down to go 3-1. So I'm looking forward to watching that. And in that game, in Game 3 actually, the Celtics were up by 20 points and the Heat cut the lead to 5. But I was thinking to myself, oh man, here comes another Celtics choke when they're up by double digits. But luckily they prevailed, they hung on, and they lived to see a Game 4, and they're down 2-1. but luckily they're not down 0-3 right now. But that is it for today's episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Please follow me on Instagram at The Idiotic Sports Talk and YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm going to do a $100 cash giveaway to my first 100 followers on Instagram or my first 100 subscribers on YouTube. I'll be giving a lucky fan $100 cash. So make sure you guys subscribe, follow me on Instagram, keep sharing my page, and help this page grow, help the channel grow. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful day.